What you're looking at right now are 8 of the most significant unnamed names in the 67-page court document, Miss Grant versus McMahon, Laurinaitis, and WWE/TKO. And in this video, I am going to reveal the names and faces behind each and every single one of these question marks, like this one right here, Brock Lesnar. But how do we know for sure that Brock Lesnar is the unnamed WWE superstar in the court document? Well, I'm going to show you right now, along with all of the other unnamed names in the court document. And I'm not going to do it based on rumor and innuendo. I'm not going to do it based on reckless speculation. I'm going to do it based on proof, based on facts, and on the preponderance of evidence provided within the documents themselves. So hang out with me, come along for the ride, and stay till the end as we reveal each and every unnamed name in the 67-page court document, starting right now. Now, before we pack it on up and head on out here, I do want to talk about one other person that was mentioned quite a bit regarding this topic. Somebody that was not in the documents themselves, but is being talked about pretty regularly here about what they did know, what they didn't know. And that's my man, Ari Emanuel here. Ari Emanuel, everybody's kind of wondering when he purchased WWE. Was he in the know? Did he know what was going on behind those doors? Did he know what he was buying? Let's take a look here. We have Ari Emanuel. We have Ari Emanuel as the head, the CEO of Endeavor, which is the parent group, the investment group that had purchased the UFC back in the day. And that was a big deal when that happened. And that is the same group, Endeavor, not TKO. Endeavor, owned by Ari Emanuel, that had picked up WWE. WWE came up for sale. And Ari Emanuel had already been doing business with the WWE. He'd already known Vince well. I do believe he was actually Vince's agent. I had heard that a couple places, but he's certainly The Rock's agent. He's certainly knew Nick Conwell. So this is a guy that was already kind of in the loop, in the know, in the system. And WWE happened to come available. And Ari Emanuel quickly jumped on that, and the WWE was sold to an Endeavor. And Ari spun that off into a new group called TKO Group Holdings, which is still owned by Endeavor, but instead of Endeavor owning WWE and UFC, Endeavor now owns TKO, which is UFC and WWE. And if all that wasn't confusing, you gotta wonder, what did Ari know when that came about? Did he know all the scandals that were involved with Vince McMahon? Now look, yeah, probably, because during the process of a merger or acquisition, there is a thing called due diligence. And this is one of the final steps in the process where you've already kind of agreed verbally, like, I'm going to buy, yes, I intend to buy this. But then you go through due diligence, which is actually having your people get in touch with their people and go through all the documents, all the everything with a fine-tooth comb, right? You're checking out all the money situation, make sure everything's adding up, make sure you're buying into something that is, what people say it is, and that there's nothing hidden or any kind of creepy shit hiding under the surface, like a Vince McMahon scandal, for example. It was during this process that I would imagine Mr. Ari Emanuel did, in fact, uncover that there was a scandal with Vince McMahon. In fact, it was already kind of public knowledge by that point. Whatever documents the board had, I am positive, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that Ari Emanuel would have gotten his hands on those documents and would have been aware of everything that was in there. So he's going to know everything that the board knew, which is probably a lot, because these accusations would have been leaked to the board before they went public. So I would imagine Ari did know. And that's why I believe the structure of the deal was to allow Vince to have the liquid assets. Now, was this a plan that Vince was in on, Or was this a plan that was done to, pull one over on old Vince? To get one over on Vince? Was it a necessary evil here to make the new TKO a thing, with Triple H kind of running the WWE side, and, we all live happily ever after, because Vince, ding dong, the witch is dead. Vince McMahon is gone out of the picture, right? So it was either a situation where Vince McMahon knew that he would be phased out, and it was kind of just set up the way it was so it didn't scare or shock the system to the shareholders. Because in a merger or an acquisition, if WWE was purchased and then they immediately announced that Vince McMahon is being removed from the company, that they're going to go free, that scares a lot of people. People not quite in the know. People don't know, oh, Triple H got it now, he's fine. Like, a lot of people just know Vince McMahon runs WWE, and they know if WWE sold now, Vince is out. That's scary. What about WWE? Who knows how to run WWE? Is it going to run the same? Is it going to function properly? So it could have been set up mutually by Vince and Ari to allow Vince to have those liquid shares so that he could slide out whenever he needed to, knowing that a lawsuit or that bigger scandals were coming down the pipe, and that he would be, kind of a figurehead during the transition, and then would be able to be transitioned out of WWE when or if need be. That's option one. The other would be that Vince was not in the know, and that this was just Ari's plan to, infiltrate WWE, take it over, and then push Vince out after. I would argue that the fact that there was already a pre-existing scandal and that Vince's stocks were liquid would indicate that there was at least an idea on Vince's end too, that this was not a marriage that was going to last, right? This was WWE. Vince McMahon was not long for that world. Now, Vince is a fighter. Vince is stubborn. He's going to try to defend himself. And, he already tried to worm his way back into the company once by being, the largest shareholder, the controlling shareholder, and WWE could not be sold without him or even do a new TV deal without him. So he's able to weasel his way in that time. He's not going to be able to do that here. I do believe he's gone, as this says here. And I do believe that is, all's well that ends well. Whether Ari knew up front or not, what's he going to do? Not buy TKO? I think sometimes people just don't really think things through or really understand how the world works. You think that Ari is going to go, oh, Vince is crooked and dirty, so we're going to stay away from WWE. No, he's going to go, I want WWE, I'll buy it. Who cares about the crooked shit? Not who cares as in he doesn't care about Ms. Grant, but it's not going to stop him from buying the company, and then he can just push out all the dirty shit, and now he's got a nice, clean company. And you can do that. Theoretically, they can say, look, that's already saved WWE. It saved them with their Slim Jim deal. It's saving them with their other sponsors and the stocks. Hey, this problem was Vince. He's gone now. All's well that ends well. Nobody's really digging into all the other stuff. Who else was connected to this? What everybody else knew. That is, except for me, your boy, Seth Grimes, who spent the better part of multiple days here researching the fuck out of this.